Matt here for Toolbox Talks. Today we're talking about wind safety. Strong winds can turn a simple construction project into a difficult and dangerous one. The Army Corps of Engineers standard, EM 385, says that at 20 miles per hour or greater wind speed, the crew shall cease all operations, consider the conditions and the equipment we're using, and decide if the job shall proceed. When working during windy conditions, there are three big considerations: chemical safety, material safety, and electrical safety. Be careful pouring or filling materials, as wind can cause the material or fumes from liquids to spray onto workers or off of the sides of buildings onto people, cars, and other property below. Do your best to keep fumes contained by keeping lids on the bottles and carefully handling or pouring the liquids. Spray applied products can be carried a long ways by the wind, so be aware and adjust accordingly. Most people aren't happy to see their car showered in chemicals. Use eye protection to keep dusty materials or chemical splashes out of your eyes. Insulation, sheet metal, plywood, and other large flat items that are relatively light materials will likely turn into a kite if the wind catches them. Be careful carrying large sheets of material because it can become a sail and take you off of the roof. Find creative ways to safely and efficiently tie stacks of material together so they don't blow off your roof if the wind gets crazy. For example, these stacks of ISO drifted several feet during the night because of strong winds. If they had not been weighted and tied together, they would have ended up in another county. So before you leave the job site, make sure your materials won't float away in the wind, and be sure to collect the trash and tie it down. Lastly, don't forget about power lines. We need to maintain a minimum of 10 feet of clearance with power lines. On windy days, this gets more complicated, and the decision needs to be made by a qualified electrician, taking into consideration wind conditions and the degree of sway in the power line if it's moving. Thanks, and keep up the good work.